Technically, for men over the age of 50, as far as we can tell, I might be the fastest Jew in the world.
Right on. Hey, how's it going? This is Mountain from the Primal Professional.
And I'm Steven Sashen from Xero Shoes.
So me and Steven met about a year ago at Paleo FX, and we really hit it off. I'm on the way to the factory right now, and I saw that we were driving by Boulder, so I stopped by and say hi.
And I said, stop by and say hi. Now, actually, I have to tell you that I'm very upset that you came by today, because one of the things that we're famous for here is having a gourmet donut shop next door, but they're closed on Tuesdays.
Do they have gluten-free donuts?
They don't yet. It's a big stretch for them, just the fact that they're having donuts in Boulder. Everyone thinks it's a really healthy community. But that place sells out like every day, so gluten-free is on their list.
Yeah.
But again, back to shoes.
So me and Steven, we probably come from opposite ends of this whole minimalist footwear. We both make minimalist footwear, but I would say I probably have the most structured shoe within this market.
What, you're saying that this is somehow less structured than that?
Well, of course. But behind both of the shoes is a lot of intention, a lot of design, a lot of careful thought. So do you want to share with them something about like your origin story and how you got started on this?
Sure. The simple version is that I got into barefoot, oh gosh. Well, let's back up. I got into running again. I became a sprinter at the age of 45, so that was 6 years ago.
Wait, you didn't sprint before 45?
I stopped when I was like 15.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I took about a 30-year break. And then, well, what happened is I was at brunch one day, and a friend of mine had just come in. He had just won a 5K. This is the first time he ever won a race. And I said, I love this idea of running, but I'm not a runner. I tried. It's just not enjoyable for me. I was always a sprinter when I was younger. And he goes, oh, you know, there's a whole master's track and field circuit. And I said, no, I did not know that. And so I found a coach in town. I started sprinting and loved it. Except that I was getting injured constantly. In fact, one day I'm walking around the kitchen, just like hobbling like a really old guy. And Lena, my wife, looks at me and she's, "Are you having fun?" And I said, "More than you can imagine." So I hated that I was getting injured, but I loved doing it. It was just a blast. And after a couple of years of that, someone suggested that barefoot might be a cure. So I took off my shoes, went for a run. Basically, I stopped overstriding is the short version of that. And all my injuries went away. I got faster. I became an all-American sprinter, master sprinter. Technically, for men over the age of 50, as far as we can tell, I might be the fastest Jew in the world. I don't actually have much of a Jewish identity, but we saw that and thought it was pretty funny. But after I got into barefoot, I wanted to be closer to barefoot as much as possible. You can't get into certain restaurants if you're barefoot. There's certain places where you don't want to be barefoot. So I started making sandals. And again, I'm doing short versions of long stories. That led to Xero Shoes, and now we've sold 40,000 pairs to people in 90-something countries who use them for everything from taking a walk to hiking, camping, yoga, paddleboarding, and 100-mile ultras.
I can attest. I have my pair with me right now, and I've done various activities with it.
So that's my story. And yours?
My story was that I got into barefoot running after reading Born to Run back in...
Born to Run.
back in 2009, and within about 6 months training, I finished a marathon barefoot, and I just could not go back to my old dress shoes. I actually tried to hack off the heel on one of my old dress shoes and completely ruined them. So in this moment of despair, I realized, hey, you know, I got to make my own. Everything that was out there was either not dressy enough or not barefoot enough,
right,
or a combination of both.
Right.
So it's led me to the creation of...
Hold on, I'm going to interrupt. What I did, because I didn't have this, I got a pair of Nike Frees that I had custom made at Nike that were all black. Black sole, black everything. So those were my dress shoes. And I had to wear those, I had to be in court for something, and so that's what I had to wear for 3 days. And within, maybe after the second day, my knees were shot. Because they are so not minimalist, you know, they've got a heel this high and there's so much padding. I was trying to not land on my heel so hard when I wore them, and I couldn't because it was so overbuilt. So that was my dress shoe. That's why one of the reasons I was so excited when I met you.
One of the cool things that one of my buddies, Matt Shoe from Up Our Belt, he tried on one of our shoes and he said, like, I keep expecting like a jarring sensation every time I step, but it's just not there, and it's like cognitive dissonance. I feel like I'm wearing slippers. I look down and it's a freaking dress shoe.
That's sweet.
So we kind of have different products, but we have a lot of things in common. I mean, we really do believe in this barefoot idea more so than a lot of the players who are in the game. We're just kind of trying to cash in. What else? We're roughly the same height. Roughly the same height now, rocking the long hair when I'm in the ball.
I know, you were not doing the long hair, but it looks good.
Thanks, you too.
Well, my wife said she stopped sleeping with me if I cut it off, so.
What, really? It's kind of like a Samson thing going on?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. So, am I going to get to try this on?
Yeah, wow, let's get you in these for the first time. Get a genuine reaction out of Steven Sashen.
So wait, so this is one of my favorite things. For years and years and years, whenever I would go to get shoes,
Mhm.
when somebody was doing what you're doing right now, sitting by my feet doing this,
Mhm.
it always just struck me as like the weirdest thing ever.
Uh-huh.
And now that I do this for a living, and I'm the guy who's usually where you are,
Yeah.
I find it totally fascinating.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about you, but I find that just the whole process like totally, I love being that guy putting shoes on people.
Let's see if that's loose enough for you.
I'm
Yeah, I really wish I brought the shoehorn.
getting there.
There you go. Let me tighten this up for you.
So first things first, before you even tighten it up,
Mm-hmm.
most of the minimalist stuff that people have tried to put on my foot
Mm-hmm.
doesn't fit on my foot.
Mm-hmm.
So the Merrills, for example, they hand me shoes and say, hey, put it on. And I literally can't because the instep is so narrow, the
Mhm.
midfoot is so narrow, and there's a big arch in it, and I can't get it on my foot. So first, the fact that it fit on at all is dreamy,
Mhm.
because I've never felt that. The other thing that before I even take a step, and this is totally first reaction, what's the word I'm looking for? I can actually move my feet.
Yes.
Which is really, really dreamy. A lot of the stuff that people have had me try on, I can't actually move once I get in it. So, and this is a bit of a fake out. It's something that you did that I totally adore. So for most people, when they say, let's see what your size is, they don't do it based on the shape of your foot. They're doing it based on the length of your foot and the shape that they want for the shoe.
Mhm.
So your toes are jammed way up here, which is
Mhm.
not the case here.
Mhm.
So I've actually got room to move, which is really pretty pleasant.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wait, let's try a walking test.
Walking. Let's see if I can walk. Oh, very interesting. So another thing that happens in a lot of the minimalist stuff that I've tried is, how do I want to describe this? Some of the minimalist shoes that I've had on my feet, they build up the outsole where they think you need to have some sort of padding or some sort of pressure relief or something.
Hmm.
So you haven't done that, so you basically kept this about as flat as you can make it with just enough shape to be aesthetically pleasing.
Yes, sir.
And I can feel that. I mean, it really does feel way more barefooty
Mhm.
than anything else. That's really pleasant. I won't mention the name of another leather shoe that is technically a minimalist dress shoe that I put on, and it was immediately ripping through my heel, and so I had to take them off in the middle of an event.
Mhm.
Not getting any of that here as well. These are nice, dude.
Glad you like them. Glad you
No,
like
I'm
them.
glad you got it done. I mean, this is really, congratulations.
You look great, by the way.
You know, the whole fact that I'm wearing pants is so unusual.
That's what I figured. That's why I had to send that email to tell you, hey, can you get some fancy outfits?
Yeah, I'm in shorts all the time. This is really sweet. I'm very impressed.
Awesome, awesome.
Wow. Here, we'll switch places.
So you want to tell the viewers at home what's coming up next with Xero?
Oh, boy. Thanks. We have a handful of things. Right now, what we've been selling for the last 3.5 years is a do-it-yourself kit, or custom-made sandals. So you can either get these as a kit where you just punch the toe hole that's in the right spot for your unique foot shape,
Mhm.
lace them up in one of dozens of different styles, decorate them if you want, get ultra minimalist or really blingy. We have some, how do I want to describe this? For some people, the do-it-yourself component is a little challenging.
It's a hurdle.
It's a bit of a hurdle.
Yeah.
We've cracked the code on that. So we have a new product that is going to be something where you can really just strap it on your foot and go. And it has some really nice aesthetic changes as well. So I can't say a whole lot more than that, but check back in a couple of months and you're going to see something that we've been working really hard on for about a year and we're really proud of.
I'm really surprised that you could make an improvement on this product. It's been really amazing.
It's a 15,000-year-old idea. Well, what we did, we needed to keep all the things that were important to us: real barefoot feel, total natural movement, flexibility, and all the rest.
Yeah.
But just make it where the challenges that some people had, we can overcome those. So some people find just tying this knot right here challenging. So
Mhm.
we solve that. Some people think even though you don't really feel this thing in between your toes, and there's tying styles that don't have that.
Mhm.
Some people don't like that, so we solved that problem as well.
Mhm.
And then there's some subtle little aesthetic things that we've done that just open up the product to be a bit more fashion forward.
Awesome, awesome.
And what's next for you?
For us, we are pretty much sold out of our first production run,
Congrats.
and we just need to get that second one as soon as possible. We're now taking pre-orders for the second one. The first one ran out. You guys would want to probably get in on the second one as soon as possible to make sure you guarantee a pair. And we are working on 2 more styles. I kind of want to keep them hush-hush, but some people already know about them, some people who asked me specifically, and people who have already gotten their shoes, they know what's kind of coming up next. But they're going to be really cool.
I'm trying to guess now.
I can neither confirm or deny this.
All right, then I want to
on camera.
guess. Splendid. Well, thank you. A, thanks for stopping by. B, thanks for letting me. I've been so much waiting for these since we first met, and the thing I can say is and you know this, there are a lot of people who've gotten into this space who have good ideas and didn't execute well or didn't execute at all. So I'm always really not that I'm proud because I have nothing to do with it, but I'm always happy for people who get something done, because that alone is difficult. And I think you've done something very right here.
Thanks, Steven. That means a lot, especially coming from someone as picky as you are.
That's true, I am. Cool.
All right, checking out. Bye, guys.